What we will cover in this episode today. Number 1, why a short assessment builds trust and gives clarity. Number 2, exactly how to introduce the 5-minute client feeling assessment to any client simply and confidently. Number 3, how to interpret results quickly using a red, yellow, and green system. Number 4, exact scripts to send back to your client that are scope safe and actionable. Number 5, how to use the assessment to prepare athletes for competition without prescribing meals. And number 6, key takeaways and immediate actions you can use with one client today. Welcome to the Profitable Sports Coach, the podcast that gives you simple, actionable tools to help your clients feel better, perform better, and stay consistent without adding more hours to your schedule. I'm Tiffany Mika, just call me Tiff, and today we are diving into something that can make your coaching life easier, how to use the 5-minute client fuel assessment with any client. This tool is quick, clear, and keeps you in a scope while giving real insight to energy and recovery. By the end of this episode, you'll know why simple assessments build trust, how to introduce the assessment, how to interpret results, what to say back, and how to use it ethically and confidently. So let's get into this episode. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at why simple assessments build trust within 4 to 5 minutes. So I want you to be thinking about it this way. One short assessment gives you more useful coaching information than an hour of guessing. So I'm going to give you some key points that you can say in conversation. What we want to do here is we want to create emotional safety. So emotional safety is structured, and neutral questions help your clients feel comfortable in sharing. Removing guesswork. You move in from I'm tired to clear, measurable patterns. This gives a starting point. Red, yellow, green tells you what to prioritize immediately. And why this assessment is also really good is because it builds your authority. You look professional and organized without the extra work. And this also keeps you in scope. You gather information and client behavior, and you're not prescribing nutrition or nutritional meals. I want you to think of this assessment as a quick diagnostic. It tells you where to focus your coaching energy this week. Let me show you how we can introduce this 5-minute client fueling assessment to your clients in a really simple way. So here's a quick ask that you can text or email your client. I've got a 2-minute check-in that helps me see how your energy and recovery are tracking. Would you like to fill one out? Here's a supportive version that you could send to your client. This quick check-in helps me understand what's going on behind the scenes so I can support you better. And here's a performance version that you could share if your athlete's in performance. This check-in helps me see how your body is responding to training so that we can protect your performance. Here are a few delivery tips that you can use to help support your client. Keep the tone light and helpful. Offer it in a session or send it as a short message. Frame it as gathering information, not judgment. And use it regularly, weekly or bi-weekly, so that you can track the trends. So here's a 1-line message that you could send to your client. Complete this 2-minute check-in and I'll review it before our next session. We'll pick one small habit to try for 7 days. Now, this is how you can interpret the results from your client once you've received the information back. The assessment totals in 3 zones. So we have a red zone, we have a yellow zone, and we have a green zone. Each zone tells you the priority and the type of action to take. So let's have a look at the red zone. The red zone will give you points score between 0 and 7 points. And what the red zone means is that your client is struggling with recovery or energy. What the red zone means, that they're skipping eating occasions, that they have a low protein presence, they have low fluid, they have poor sleep, they have high stress, and they're training on empty. Now, what this means for you as a coach you can provide immediate, small, stabilizing actions and monitoring. Now, if your client ends up being in the yellow zone, this means they get somewhere between 8 to 12 points on their assessment. And what this means in the yellow zone is that they have inconsistent habits. This means that your client does some things well, but not reliably. And the coach focus for you is to tighten up the basics with 1 or 2 micro trials and accountability. Now let's see what the green zone looks like. The green zone scores somewhere between 13 and 16 points. And what this means for your client is that they're generally stable and that they're ready for small performance optimizations. What your coach focus is to celebrate the success that they're having and then test one performance habit in training. So here's a pattern reading tip for you. Look for the timing for low energy. For example, is it a 2 p.m. slump, 3 p.m. slump versus a pre-session low? Timing will tell you which habit to target first. Now, once we've done that, what I have for you here is exact scripts that you can say back to your clients once they've responded after filling out the 5-minute client fueling assessment. So what we want to encourage here, though, is we want to encourage to keep the messages short, keep the messages supportive, and give your client 1 or 2 clear actions. Always set a 7-day micro trial and a simple measurement. So here's something that you could say if they were in the red zone. So here is your red zone script. Thanks for sending this through. I can see you've had a tough week with energy and recovery. Try these 2 simple things this week. Number 1, have something to eat between 1 to 2 hours of waking. And number 2, keep a water bottle nearby and sip throughout the day. Let's try this for 7 days and we'll track your energy. Now, if your client ends up being in the yellow zone, here's a yellow zone script for you. Nice work. You're doing things really well. 2 small tweaks could help this week. Number 1, add a protein presence to each main eating time. And number 2, try a 10-minute wind down before bed. Let me know how you go. And if your client ends up in the green zone, here's your green zone script. You're fueling and recovering really well. That's a great job. Fantastic. Well done. Let's try one small test to boost performance. Try a short pre-training top-up. You've practiced in training and note your session quality. Keep doing what's working. Now, why these work, these scripts? These work because 1 or 2 actions prevent overwhelm. These work because 7-day micro trial makes results measurable. Why these work is because language is scope safe and supportive. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some action steps on what you can do to help implement with any of your clients. Number 1, send or complete the assessment in session. Number 2, score and place your client in the red, yellow, or green zone. But by the way, do not tell them that they're in those zones. You're just getting the information back so that you know that what zone that they end up in. They don't need to know if they're in a red, yellow, or green zone. Number 3, send the matching script and agree on a 7-day micro trial. Number 4, measure. Client records energy daily between 0 and 10, and they note their session quality. And number 5, review this at 7 days after their micro trial and decide to keep, adjust, or progress with that trial. Here are some simple measurement cues that you can express to your client. Number 1, a daily energy rating from 0 to 10, and they can measure that each morning. Another simple measurement cue, number 2, note the session quality after each session. Was it good, okay, or poor? Another simple measurement cue, number 3, hydration. Yes or no for carried their water bottle today, or they had a bottle count of how much they drank. And here's a simple competition checklist that is non-prescriptive and it's practice-based. This is what you can share with your client. 48 hours prior to the competition, keep familiar eating and fluid patterns. Prioritize sleep. Avoid trying new foods or supplements. 3 hours before their competition, use a familiar pre-event top-up that the athlete has practiced in training. Drink a planned volume of fluid and include electrolytes if sweat is high, and avoid large, unfamiliar items that can upset the gut. 30 to 60 minutes before competition, have small, easily tolerated top-up only if needed, and have small sips of fluid. Avoid large volumes of fluid prior to starting the competition. And during the competition event, scheduled sips and small top-ups in planned breaks, and only use products used in training. Now, once your clients finish their tournament or competition, this is what they need to do post-event: rehydrate and include a recovery top-up with protein presence within the first hour, and prioritize sleep and passive recovery. This is a really good prompt that you can use with your athletes. Tell me what you used in training that felt good. We'll use that same plan for the event and no experiments. If you would like the 5-minute client fueling assessment, it's ready to use. You can download the free PDF in the show notes wherever you hear this episode, and it is designed for coaches like you to use in sessions or send between sessions. So what are our key takeaways for today? Key takeaway number 1, energy is the foundation. Fix energy and training quality. Recovery and consistency improve. Key takeaway number 2, 3 high leverage checks: fuel timing, hydration, and blood sugar stability. Key takeaway number 3, start with awareness, not advice. Use the 5-minute fueling assessment. Key takeaway number 4, use a 7-day micro trial, because using that micro trial creates small measurable changes that can compound to get the results your client is after. Key takeaway number 5, protect competition performance by practicing pre-event top-ups in training and using the 48-hour checklist. So here are some immediate actions that you can use today with your client. Send them the 5-minute client fueling assessment and agree to a 7-day micro trial. Give one of your athletes a 48-hour competition checklist for their next event. And another action that you can use is to measure and ask your client to track their energy daily and report session quality after the 7 days. Thank you for joining me today on the Profitable Sports Coach podcast. This assessment is one of the simplest ways to understand what's really going on with your clients and how you can start making small, high-impact changes. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'd love it if you could share with me what you like best about what you heard today in this episode. And until our next episode, I want you to pick one habit, pick one client, and track the change. Always remember, lead with intention and coach with clarity and care. Have an absolutely awesome day. Take care. Talk soon. Bye for now.